not subconsciously. Just without even thinking about it, Leo says Ian, not Nico.
Fuck. I'm sorry, Nico. I do think you have a lot of talent for in front of the camera, though. I'm not going to lie. I think you're a great actor. I think you're very funny. And I think that you have a future.
He's got a video coming up. He's starring this weekend in a video.
Really?
Yeah, he's starring. We'll talk about it. That's a little
See
teaser
if he
right now.
responded to me.
But
he called me 3 times. He's getting crazy. He even FaceTimed me. Called you back, you fuck. Look at this. Where were we, though?
I think you're going to call him right now, and you're just going to yell, "You're fired" at the top of your lungs.
Right. Do it over here.
Maybe he won't believe you if you just yell, "You're fired."
He's not going to believe me.
Fire and brimstone, though.
Hello?
You're fired.
I'm fired?
Yeah, you're fucking fired, dude.
For what?
Well,
from dog walking. What do you think, jerk off?
Listen, let me ask you a question, Nico. All right. Let's say, do you know who Alex Rodriguez is?
Like A-Rod?
Yeah, A-Rod. Do you know who A-Rod is? Follows me on Instagram.
I know of him. I know he's on the Yankees.
Right, he was on the Yankees.
What?
Let's say there was a team down the street from your house, baseball team, right, Nico? You've played a little baseball before, right?
I played T-ball.
All right, so you played T-ball. So let's say this team has a tryout, right, for their new shortstop. You following me?
Yeah, so I'm a shortstop. This team.
Listen, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer honestly. You show up to the tryout, right? And it's you. The line starts here, and you make it first, and then the guy behind you comes up, gets out of his fucking Bentley, he strolls over to you, is Alex Rodriguez. All right, he's trying out for the same team as you. What kind of chance do you have to make it on that club as the starting shortstop?
And, well, I could be just as good as Alex Rodriguez. I don't know that yet.
Are you out of your mind? He's a Hall of Famer. He literally hit 700 home runs. How could you?
Okay. Maybe as a shortstop, I could be just as good.
What are we talking about? Let's talk about filming.
This was the analogy that I was trying to make, all right? Listen, there's a new Alex Rodriguez in town, buddy, and his name is Ian. How do you feel about that?
There's no bad blood at all. I mean...
Oh, really? So
Danny's always talked about interchanging filmers since I first started with him a year, maybe 2 ago. Mm-hmm. And it's never been a problem.
What would you say? What would you say if I said that Ian is a little better? He's like you on steroids.
Oh, stop.
And what if I said that Ian maybe didn't have very much, positive feedback about your skills and your filming? What if I said that Ian basically thinks that you're a faggot?
He said that in confidence, Leo. That was not for you to leak on the air right now.
I'm sorry. He insulted your confidence. He insulted your intelligence, Nico, and I didn't feel great about it. But listen, this is about the channel's growth. All right. So how are you feeling right now? That's my question.
I don't know who Ian is. I don't spend a lot of time with him, but from the few times I've spent with him, maybe he would have some constructive feedback on what I do. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he would include the word faggot there.
He's quite a homophobe. Hey, Nico.
He is a homophobe. It's crazy.
Nico, I don't want to get too technical here about shutter speeds, about lens brightness, but he did say you've had that smudge on your lens for so long that he thinks there's probably a smudge on your frontal lobe. He thinks you're stupid for having it on there.
He actually made that joke because he
Well, I see when Jared's not here. You hate when people accept it, so I'm going to defend my stance. The last shoot we had together was the one where I bought the cleaning kit and tried to clean it. And then after that shoot, you said that it was still on there. And then all the Corona shit hit.
He says that he knew that you were going to make up some excuse for your lack of ability to get it cleaned. He said that he already knew that this was going to be your response, and that you're very, very easy to figure out, and that he would not only beat you in a battle of wits, but that if you two went to film school, he would be the Scorsese to you being the guy that has to shoot Cinemax films that usually star guys like me. He said that at your best, you could maybe shoot Cinemax films.
I heard that he said Nico would be shooting snuff films.
Right. Even worse.
That's
shit
about
that's on
his
the
ceiling.
dark web. Like, you're going to Mexico to like film some cartel guy stab a guy in the heart for a message to some other cartel. That's what he said you'd be filming.
And you'd be paid in free admission to a donkey show.
Right. He said that you'd be...
What?
He said that you would be paid for that snuff film in free admission to a donkey show in Tijuana, Mexico.
Which is really bad considering film school is going to set you back 150 grand.
Yeah, yeah.
You need some money, not just tickets to recreational venues.
He said that you would take 35 years to pay back the loan from film school. And when you would have a small celebration at the end when you finally paid it off, and you might even and the video, and it would be your best video, but it would only be 1 minute and 30 seconds on Instagram, and that would be the highlight of your career.
Did he really say this? Was Ian just on the phone before me on here?
Yeah,
dude.
It's all going to be on record for you to review. Ian's an articulate guy, especially when he gets cooking up with a couple cocktails in the evening.
He
When
did.
you talk to
Listen,
what?
you know, do you realize that Ian does stand up, and we're not talking about fucking a fucking
Too bad
Hearst.
it was a hearse.
Yeah, we're not talking about too bad it was a Hearst.
That's a legendary joke.
Listen, it's a legendary joke.
Like that's the
That's
Chris Rock,
legendary.
like that's the Chris Rock fucking N-word bit.
Yeah,
it's that legendary.
Oh, it's such a legendary joke.
Like
But
that's
listen,
that's Doug Stanhope's nationalism bit. Shut up.
yeah, come on, Nix. Listen, so yeah, he's done improv, he's done comedy. So yeah, he was able to riff, and he roasted you pretty badly. And this is the kind of stuff that he was saying, man. He was saying that your liver is basically exactly the health of your liver is the level of talent that you have.
Yeah.
Which is low.
Yeah, your liver looks like a charred
Dude,
wiffle
my
ball.
liver's killing it. This past weekend, it's been a month since I've had any alcohol.
Okay, that's good.
That's because
good.
the
We don't-
doctor told him his liver was going to get out if he kept drinking.
Did you go to the doctor?
What?
Did you go to the doctor?
No.
All right. Well, hey, listen.
This was on medical
Last
advice.
time
And listen.
I got
Oh,
my
God.
physical last year, and he said that my liver is crushing it. He said I should live to be at least 85.
You sure that was a doctor, not one of your stoned friends?
Is that
Bro,
not-
your liver's fucking crushing it.
Your
dude.
liver, your doctor, your fucking doctor, who's probably in his 60s or 70s, as most doctors are, came up to you and said your liver is crushing it. You expect us to believe that?
Dude, he showed me all the stats from my blood work, and I was even shocked by it. I mean, I do exercise, but the fact is my alcohol intake, I felt like it would have some kind of bad repercussions on
listen,
my body, but so far it hasn't.
Listen, I don't want to get too deep into your liver because Ian said something else, and I'm gonna let Danny tell you this one because it bothers me. Listen, what? Listen, he said something about Jill. He said something about Jill. Danny, do you want to tell him?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Listen, because you have to respond to this shit, so you're gonna see it on the video, and we want to give you a heads up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nico, do you know who Salman Rushdie is?
Do I know who is?
Salman Rushdie. He's a famous author. He wrote something called the Satanic Verses. The Crown Prince of Iran declared a fatwa on him. It was an order for all Muslims, all faithful around the world to, if given the opportunity, take Salman's life. Salman Rushdie, in addition to that, is famous for dating hopelessly beautiful women, way, way out of his league. Ian said, that you remind him of Salman Rushdie because your girlfriend's way out of your fucking league, except unlike Salman, you have no talent.
See, and it's so great because he was able to make an intellectual, analogy with you and Jill. Like he was able to bring in this figure that I have no idea. I've never heard of him before. And I actually did research for hours about this.
Austin, can you pull up Salman Rushdie right now with his girlfriend?
Pull up Salman Rushdie.
With one of his wives.
Yeah. So listen, so we're not going to say that it was one of the best performances we've had on this podcast, but Ian was obviously prepared. He's been thinking about these things, and we want to know, how you're feeling about this, but also, do you have a response, or do you want to say anything to Ian?
Well, okay, I'm going to answer this in two parts.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Two-part answer.
If I can keep these thoughts in my head. So I am not going to say anything about Ian. One, I don't know if this is true because I know you guys so well. Two,
oh, stop it. You took trust shots. Shut up,
Ian
dude. This is
doesn't have
legit.
enough stuff out there for me to critique.
What do you mean?
I don't think he has anything out there for me to look at of what he's done besides a couple videos from Danny.
He's got Slap City, baby. That's all you need to see.
Listen, buddy.
I did watch it.
He's got a classic.
It's not that I wasn't impressed, but if I can say, it seems like Danny just likes a tighter focus on the camera. So he doesn't like the super wide lens that I use. He wants something a little closer and narrower to give it that cinematic feel.
I want your camera to make love to my pretty face. No more of that zoomed out bullshit you've been throwing around, Nico.
Do you think?
In my head, it's so much. Like I look at some of the videos, you say like Nate was steady, and he wasn't. He was like moving around a little more.
So now you're dragging Nate into this? Nate's an honorable man.
Hey, yeah, why are we talking shit about Nate, dude?
We all love Nate.
I didn't talk shit about him. I didn't say anything. Danny said, look at Nate's videos. And Nate, good cinematographer. Color, like Danny said, I have no clue how he did it. But Danny said he has a better camera than me, the next generation.
He even said...
But...
Yeah.
It's close.
Let me talk. Now we're getting technical. Nico, we're fucking with you, obviously. Ian said none of this, okay? You think Ian really... just like we passed him the joint on the drive back from Imperial County? He's like, listen, this fucking faggot Nico... Salman Rushdie, the fat guy with the hot wives and the fatwa? That's Nico, okay?
That's so funny.
Like something that he could come up with, though. I don't know enough to refute that part, but I did say he would not call me a faggot. I said that.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
We don't know that for sure.
Listen, Nico. All right. It's okay, Nico. What did I say to you this morning? I texted you this morning, which made this bit a little harder to pull off because you knew you weren't actually fired. What did I say, though?
I can look it up.
You paraphrase it?
You can't paraphrase it? We're doing radio here. You're right. You're right, Leo.
Yeah. I am. I'll do it real quick. You said that, hey, dude, are you able to film this weekend as a character, not a filmer? And then you just went into stuff about how I was like, hey, am I fired, like, from shooting? And you're like, no, like, you're just going to keep interchanging us if the time works right. And he has better equipment and stuff, which makes it better for you to film the worst town in America.
What else did I say?
You said you don't kick people out, fire them.
Aw.
And
sweet.
That I've been out of the game for a little bit and I couldn't work, so that's why Ian's been subbed in.
That's right. And listen, buddy, maybe this will put a little competitive pressure on you because Ian does have a nice setup. He's been doing some good stuff in 4K. I said this when we were doing the Edward 40 Hands video. That Tom Brady, back when he played for the Patriots, was definitely afraid of letting anybody else walk onto the field and take a snap in his place.
Yeah.
If he had a sprained ankle, tough shit. He put some ice on it, he took an aspirin. If he had a concussion, he slipped the doctor $1,000 to clear him. He did not get off the fucking field, okay? Because he did for a little bit, and Jimmy Garoppolo was throwing dime balls. And it made people start talking about trading Brady. Yeah. Nico, when you let somebody else like Ian take snaps, it's always a little perilous. But don't worry, I'm looking out for you, buddy. And hopefully you can learn from some of the stuff Ian was doing.
Well, we do have our cameras on practice exactly the same setting. But just to say one more thing.
What?
When before this worldwide, listen, specified worldwide pandemic that some people may not take as serious as others, anyone can believe what they want, but when else have I not been there for your show?
You've always been there, Nico.
Of course.
But I'm saying, while I'm out in Las Vegas on the front lines, quiet! While I'm out there in Las Vegas on the front lines, making out with Hollywood, California's wife, how come you get to be hanging out in your parents' house in your underwear, eating Cap'n Crunch? It's bullshit.
Dude, I felt horrible.
Because you had corona, or you felt emotionally horrible?
No, I felt did you say emotionally? I felt bad. Because, I wanted, dude. I like filming for you. Like I said, ever since you told me that story about Tom Brady, you told me that for years. I have remembered that, and that's honestly.
Got to keep the fear.
Nico, now let me ask you a question though.
That has kept me wanting to go.
Watch this. Okay. Listen,
but
Nico.
Then, dude, this stuff hits, and what am I supposed to do?
I totally understand where you're coming from. But let me ask you a question. Buddy. Have you ever read The Alchemist? I told you to read it a long time ago.
It's the one book Leo's read.
I have the book in my house, but it's not about like the guy finding. It's like a brain surgeon.
No, that's absolutely not what it is. Listen.
Oh.
It's about a young boy. All right, much like you. All right, and he's following his personal legend, but he didn't really know what it was yet. But he takes a little break and he works at a crystal shop, right? Maybe your crystal shop, is Danny Mullen. And maybe your personal legend is in front of the camera. You ever think that...
Well, now it sounds like he's getting fired again.
No, he's not getting fired. Well, all I'm saying is you've been given an opportunity to be... multiple times, because of your comedic prowess, you've been given opportunities to be in front of the camera, and you're going to have another one coming up. All I'm saying, buddy, is that you look at what do you really want to do deep in your heart? Figure that out. If it's really just filming, that's cool, man. I think that's awesome. But if it's not, if you're just doing this because you need the $80 from Danny and it's a fun way to make $80, all I'm saying is...
I've upped his pay.
You've upped his pay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I said that.
It's okay.
You can bleep that out.
That was last year's pay.
We're not taking advantage of anyone on this channel. Anyway, listen. Maybe you like the dopamine rush that you get when your picture is popping. Maybe more followers will make you happy. Maybe being in front of the camera is something that you like a lot too. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying is keep that in your mind. Keep that in your back pocket, buddy. I'm not saying you're fired. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying that you can bring a lot to the team in front of the camera, right? And I really like you in front of the camera. Me personally, I like you in front of the camera more than behind the camera because behind the camera, I don't get to interact with you, buddy. I get to interact with you when you're in front of the camera.
Well, now you're just undoing all the hard work I did. So this was...
Yeah, what are you talking about?
What?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you guys are trying to wrap up.
No. Leo just threw that curveball out of nowhere. See, I told Nico earlier this year that he was getting too in love with being on camera.
Oh, yes.
And his filming started to suffer.
Right.
Not badly. Right. There was just the Rat Dick Ralph video was really shaky. Mm-hmm. And there were multiple times during the baseball thing where the camera was down in the dirt during action because Nico was bullshitting with people, cracking jokes on the sidelines.
Right. But what I'm saying is when he comes out and Ian's filming, he can have fun in front of the camera. It's his time to shine. He can enjoy himself like that, right?
What I told Nico, though, was that just needed him to refocus. And then once he did refocus, he did some of his best work in the subsequent shoots. So I'm not trying to now redirect Nico back in front of the camera.
Totally.
I think him being a camera guy for the channel is totally legitimate, and I want him to be. I'm not actually firing him. I'm sorry about that whole bullshit alchemist speech. He probably hasn't even read the book, Nico. Don't listen to him.
I'm just saying that I can read people,
and I written by a brain surgeon. He would have.
Oh yeah, Pablo Coelho. Yes, he's a brain surgeon. Okay, my bad. I thought you said it was about a brain surgeon. Anyway, listen.
No.
All I'm saying is I know that you like a little bit of that attention that you get in front of the camera. Is that so wrong of me to say? Is that so wrong of me to say it, Nico? Admit it. Admit that you like fucking being in front of the camera.
Okay, so there's a thing. I'm pretty sure everyone who is part of this squad has fun being in front of the camera.
That is not true. There's a lot of people that don't.
Sometimes when I'm on there, yes. Do I like being behind the camera all the time? 100%. I never ask to go in front of the camera, but when I'm given the opportunity, of course I take it, and of course I get energized because it's fun. My adrenaline gets rushing. It's something I'm not used to.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, Nico, you're not fired. You're still going to switch off and be in front of the camera, like this weekend, for instance. Let's get to the real issue. Have you eaten your girlfriend's fucking asshole yet?
Yeah, no, it's the other way around.
Oh, yeah.
It's the other way around.
She has yet to perform analingus on him. Well, how's that going? You guys have been inside together a lot now, so how's it going?
It's good. I mean, still just not married yet, but we're officially girlfriend and boyfriend.
Oh, really? You guys are official again.
Time to celebrate with a nice little tossed salad.
With a Cobb salad?
You could celebrate with a Cobb too, but I would say a tossed salad.
So have you've
Cobb salad. Well, I'll ask her if she'll eat my.
Don't ask.
Maybe some point.
Grab her fucking pigtails and direct her with force.
So you finally moved past the Dante Culpepper incident, I guess.
That's what was holding him back?
Yeah. Dating? 100%?
Wait, what was holding us back?
The Dante Culpepper incident?
All right, Nico, we're meandering now. We got to end this call and wrap this show up, buddy.
Okay, well, let me just say one thing before you hang up. Leo, Danny, did you not like the thing that I showed?
Oh,
I
my
knew it.
God.
I knew it.
I could sense that was going into plug territory, so I got to get rid of
Did
that.
you not like the thing? Who knows?
Until he's getting his ass licked, I don't respect anything he makes.
Totally.
Yeah, Nico, he's got this halo effect on his girlfriend. He thinks she's a fucking earth angel of some sort. That's why he freaked out about Dante. Yeah. That's why he was working so hard to get back to the official boyfriend-girlfriend. And I asked him, I said, hey, Nico, you're constantly chopping your girlfriend's brown box. Chomping her brown box. Has she ever licked your ass? He's like, no. Have you ever asked her? No, I'm afraid. I said, Nico, no fear. Demand what you want out of life.
That's right. Take what you want.
I said, Nico, have you fucked her in the ass? He said, no, I'm scared. I said, well, have you asked if she'd be into it? He said, no, that's disrespectful. I said, Nico, that shit-covered donut is yours to spear with your flesh rod.
Oh, my God. Yeah.